There are millions of people around the world that day trade every day, and not everyone should be doing it because it can be risky. But in exchange for accepting that higher amount of risk, it's a chance to turn a little bit of money into a lot of money. And that's very appealing to people because over 600 million of these new Micro Emini contracts have traded since they were introduced only 2 years ago. Today I'm going to show you 2 live trades right here on the channel, actual real-time trades, and also we're going to be talking about some other advantages of trading these micro index futures. Now the first of 2 live trades today, 6th of May, 9:30. The year is 2021, and the green line in the MACD is below the red line and both well below the zero line. Market's pretty volatile, but at 9:47, I decided to take the plunge. I'm going to be selling 2 of the Russell 2000 Micro Eminis, and I'm in the money right away, which is always a good sign, but I've got to guard it carefully, rule number 1 and all that. I put my stop initially at 22.32, and then I see I'm already trading down at 22.27, and so I can squeak in there and move that stop down to 22.30 and see if I can get away. I'm already up $21 in the trade. It's trading down at 22.26, so my stop up at 22.30 is probably plenty far away. That's locking in any losses to a maximum of $18 on that. Of course, I want to follow this trade very closely, and I want to absolutely keep that stop as close as I can without being too close. So I pull out my Tastyworks magic mouse where I can move that stop order right on the screen there with that click and drag motion. I move it down to 22.2860. And I feel like that's a good start to this. I can squeeze in there and do some risk management on this trade and get that stop down to 22.2860. That means my maximum risk now is only $4, and hey, that's like a free trade. As my old friend Gustafsson used to say, if you want to ride the bus, you got to buy a ticket. But $4 is a cheap ticket, and this trade seems to be going well. 22.25 now it's trading down there, and time for me to go down and move my stop again because I want to protect what profit I'm going to make here. It may be very little. It might turn out to be a lot. I really don't know yet. But I'm going to be very aggressive on this stop, and I move it twice here. And I finally wind up putting that thing down. See, the trade's at 22.23 now. So I move the stop down to 22.25.80. And that's very close to where it's trading. And there you go. I'm stopped out of the trade right now. But it was a quick trade, but it was a good trade. Didn't make a lot of money. 3 minutes, $24 profit. Maximum drawdown was only $4. And even that wasn't for very long. The maximum unrealized gain was $30. I got about 80% of that. Captured the $24. A lot of teaching moments I find in this. I'm going to go back now and put up the screen that was right at the time I initially placed the trade. And you see the market opened at 9:30. And see those first 3 bars. Each bar now, you remember, is 5 minutes wide. So I got in the trade at 9:47, right about here. And you're going to see that in the first 5 minutes, the market went down. I'm trading 2 of the Micro Eminis now, so that's $10 a point. And you can see here that the market went down $100 in 5 minutes. And then it went up $100 the next 5 minutes. And then the next 7 minutes, it went down another $100. Now, that's a lot of volatility. And if you're going to get into a trade like this, it's very difficult for beginners because you don't yet have the experience to see what you're getting into here. And you have to become pretty proficient with using your software so you can react fast when you need to. Now, most of that happened in my brain before I ever placed the trade. Because I knew it was going to be a chance I could lose some money quickly. And so I'm going to put on my belt and suspenders this time. I'm going to be extra careful is what I'm saying. And I'm really going to follow it with a very, very close stop, which you can see is exactly what I did during the trade. And this is a very good point here because it's always hard. You know, we're asking, there is no one number that'll answer it for all trades. You know, how far back do I put my stop? When I've got money up in a trade and it's changing $100 every 5 minutes like this, I'm going to take what I can get and I'm going to take it fast and I'm not going to give it back. That's kind of my attitude in this type of volatility in trading. Now, it's going to be interesting because the second trade I'm going to show you today is going to be almost a continuation of this trade. And this trade, I was, as you saw, stopped out pretty quickly, but things improved in the next trade, which I'll get into in just a moment. You know, actually, this trade is probably one that absolute beginners probably should not jump into waters running this fast at $100 every 5 minutes. Find a lower volatility area and test the waters a little bit so you can get the hang of what's going on first. The channel has about 80 videos now, and I put them all up free, and I do support the channel with sales of my book, Day Trading the Micro Eminis, a gateway to trading for a living or just making extra money as you wish. In there, I have a special chapter on practice trading. And I recommend that somebody does 25 consecutive 25 successful trades in a row. That sounds almost impossible, and it would be, but the way I define a successful trade is not necessarily a winning trade. A successful trade can also be a trade where you exercise great risk management and you didn't lose any more than you had to on the trade. You didn't let your losses run. You stayed rational and in control of your emotions. And even if you lose a few bucks on that, that's still a successful trade because that's what you have to do. And this type of trading is very risky, and your win rate in the long term is never going to be over about 60%. That means you're going to lose 40% of your trades. So you have to learn how to control those 40% so you can make more with the 60% than you lose with the 40% losers. I hope that makes sense to you. But it's one of the things that you have to keep in mind. Now, you will have runs of luck, as they call it in a casino, where your win rate might be 90% for a few days or even a couple of weeks, and you'll be very happy about that. But it's not going to last because the law of large numbers will take over, and 60% win rate is actually pretty darn good. And you can still make money with only a 50-50 win rate, but you have to learn to let those losses stop and not tolerate them, and exercise good loss aversion technique, a risk management technique, money management, if you want to call it that. It goes by a lot of different names. And I hope you'll look into my book and do that. There's a great chapter in there on trading psychology also. And it's worth a few bucks you're going to pay for it, and I really do appreciate the support on that. You'll find the book link in the text below, and all the information in there. It's not a long book, it's only 110 pages, but the information is organized from start to finish in a very logical sequence, and the point of that is to try to help you learn easier and faster, and then of course the videos on the channel here, which are free, supplement all of that. Thank you. Now here's the second trade. I promised you it happened 10 minutes after the last trade I made. The last trade I made was right there in the blue square. But now this is 10 minutes later, and I'm short at 2222.7. I'm short 2 of the Russell 2K Micro E-minis. And now I have my stop up at 2225. So I'm going to risk about $30 on this trade. And right now I'm almost even money at 22.23. And then I decided I better move that stop up a little bit more. So why am I more comfortable moving the stop up this time? Because look down at the MACD. Those green and red lines are even farther apart. They're diverging, and that means a stronger downtrend. So I'm less likely to have this trade whiplash on me than the other one. So I kept my stop up there at even 2226 to stay out of the way and make sure I wasn't going to get stopped out of this trade. And so far it's going pretty good. But you see, I am handling that mouse very closely and moving that stop down as quickly as I can. I have the stop now still up at 22.25. And I move it up again just to stay out of the way. I do not want to get stopped out this time. And I'm having to wait here. I'm down about $20 in the trade. I went up to 22.25 there. And my stop is up at 22.26. And now I'm trading down to 22.22, which is about where I got into the trade at. And I'm watching that MACD very closely down there. You see, this is right before 10 o'clock. And the other trade was at 9:47 in the morning, and this one started at about 9:55, and it's going to run for a few minutes here. I'm down to 22.21 now, and I put my stop up at 22.23 right now. So I'm only up about $10 in the trade. It's only been a couple of minutes. Now I'm 22.20 right now. So that means I'm up around about $25, 22.20. And I'm going to go back up and pick up that stop again and move it on down. I'm trading down to 22.19 right now. So I'm up a few bucks in this trade. I moved my stop down to 22.22 now. So it's a free trade now. I'm right there. 22.22.30 is the stop, and I shorted at 22.22.70. A lot of twos there, but anyway, it's basically an even money trade now. And I'm trading down at 22.18, 19, 20. But the MACD tells me this thing should run on down a little bit. And so far, that's certainly been the case. I'm down to 22.18 now, so I'm up about $40, $45 in the trade. And I'm going to follow this thing very closely so I can handle this trade in the right way and try to let it run and make me some money here. I'm trying to keep my stop out of the way. But I'm well into a free trade. The stop's down at 22.20 now, and I'm trading 22.17. The stop's down at 22.19 now, and I'm trading down at 22.17. So I'm up about $50 in the trade so far. Trading 22.15 now, so I moved my stop down to 22.18. I'm just kind of feeling my way around this trade. There is no mathematical formula that will tell you what's best. You just try to stay out of the way and follow that thing on down. Thank goodness I have this Tastyworks mouse where I can watch the trade and move it up and down just with the left mouse button. Down to 22.14 now, so I got a good profit up here in this trade. Stop 22.13, went down to 22.12 there for a moment. Now back up to 22.14, 22.15, pretty close to the stop here. Ah, there it is. I'm stopped out of the trade here. Now let's do the trade summary on this. Okay, trade lasted about 5 minutes, made $67, maximum drawdown about $30, the most unrealized profit about $87, which I captured 77% of that. Both trades, the total tally for the day about $91 on these two. Be sure and hit that like button if you want to see more videos like the one you saw today. Thank you. There's a new link in the text below that will allow you to adjust your Tastyworks screen to look exactly like mine, or you can change it to any color or configuration or theme that you want to. So look for that Tastyworks below. And also, Tastyworks has free quotes, free software, great customer service, 85-cent commissions, and there's so many good things about them. I chose it because it's easy for beginners to learn. Now, it's a sophisticated software program. I don't mean to say it's simple, but it is easy to learn. They've got a screen called See It, Click It, Trade It, which kind of puts everything on one page for you. When you're beginning, that really helps a lot. So look for the Tastyworks link below. I'm Don Singletary. Thanks for visiting today, and I hope every day is a payday for you. And thank you.